This video is to show two new features in Health One. First one is importing your HealthMail emails and or attachments directly through Health One to patient healthcare record. The other function is to use different way, so-called beta way of referring. The current version I'm using is 0.0.1.3040. But those features should be available to all of you since there was a big update when flu vaccines were rolled out and all sites should be on it. Any practice would have at least one HealthMail account really set up because that's the way how we prescribe since COVID. You might want to configure your personal email or not. That's your own preference. So if you go to Tools, Options, Internet, configure HealthMail. This is where you can set up your both personal and practice email. Big consideration is if you set up your own and if you send prescriptions from your own and chemist has any query, any question, any comment, this is where they will send the answer to by replying to your prescription. So make sure that somebody keeps an eye on it. If you know that you will not observe it or else you have a locum in practice and you perhaps want to keep an eye on what's being sent and that any answers or questions are being attended to, it might be more reasonable to leave just practice email available there. So when I go to view healthmail.ie, what that will do in this window, Health One will connect to HealthMail server using credentials from Tools Options, and it will show you all the emails within the time frame that's limited to make it work faster. It defaults to practice email address, although you can toggle here and change to private if you wish to. This content of the body of the email, so the usual way you send other than attachment would be here, and it will be selectable, meaning I have it as an example here, what the body might look like. If the anonymization tool was turned off, I would be able to do it within this place. So I can then select appropriate parts of the report, only what I consider significant. Copy it to the clipboard. I can do it either by shortcut Ctrl+C or right-click copy, and then I click Doctor. What that does, it puts whatever content was within your clipboard as a content of an item, Doctor in that case, because that's what I selected. So then we can go to Department, and then we can go to Report. Now I don't have to select all as I said, so I don't need that report. That will be duplication. I can only select this bit. Copy it again, so Ctrl+C I would be using. I'll show you right-click copy just to stress that that needs to be copied. And I click on Report. Important consideration then is date. What we decided to do in our surgery is that transaction date is the date of actual report. Now the difficulty of course is that in that case that report is late over a month. So to make sure that we are not seen as negligent people, we put a receive date and we put a date on when we actually have received the report. And then you can see discrepancy between receive date and transaction date. You can add your specialty, and then what's very handy here is send message for review option. What that means is that once I click here, the author, meaning the author of transaction, not author of report, so you select one of the doctors in the practice. This person, after you selected this option, will receive an internal message telling, oh, there is a report to review. The benefit of using this is that once this message is sent, it will have its hyperlink that you click and it opens the patient's file, but it not only opens the file, it also moves you to appropriate transaction. So it will not open the newest one, it will open the appropriate one, this exact transaction. And what we haven't done, of course, we did not select which patient is it. I have Mary Test opened, so I will select Mary Test. If she wasn't opened here in the background, what I would have done, I would click on those three dots and I would use patient selector to pick my patient. And then once I click integrated, that will save this as a transaction, save any attachment as a transaction. You can preview it here. I will not do that because it's live patient data, but it will save within Mary Test. Important thing to remember is when you change to next message, as you noticed, that did not clear. So after integrated your message, clear it, and you want to erase it. That's work in progress to do it automatically after you change your email and therefore your patient, but at the moment you have to remember to clear it, or else you will put somebody else's information to wrong file. The emails that have been integrated, as you can see, are marked with the green tick box, and that means that email has been integrated to a file already. As I said, you can change from practice to private, hit refresh, and then you will see emails that had come to my own personal email. And then how doctor checks his messages is within your internal messaging system, but you have to go to expert reports. So when you go to expert reports, you will have your message. When you double click on it, it will open it in a bigger window and there'll be hyperlink, and when you click it, it brings you straight away to appropriate transaction. So it will not open the latest, it will open whatever is appropriate. If that was the date of the report, this is what it will open automatically. So we have that done and dusted. The other bit of news is how you can refer. So the reason why it was introduced, as you can see, you have plenty of options here. And this is just a pathway that we prepared for our registrars coming in, so they knew where to go, which one is in our specialized referrals, which one is in different hospitals, which one is in normal referrals, and it's just causing headache for everybody. So the reason to use this one, and it's called beta, but I use it for a few months and it actually works all the time. I never had any troubles with it. When you click it, the only thing you have to choose is public or private. You can use filter if you wish, but it's not necessary. So if you want to narrow down your search only to pigmented lesion, you can, but you don't have to. You can leave it blank. So my usual hospital is Our Lady of Lourdes, and if I go here, you see that my pigmented lesion that normally I would have to access through specialist referrals rather than general referrals is here already. So when I fill in all the data and the referral and I click OK and send it, Health One will know from Healthlink that it needs to open the extra form, so the specific pigmented skin lesion ABCD template, and it will do it and it will prompt you to fill it in. The other bit in which beta is good at is the CHOs. So I am aware that CHO9 had some troubles, that it wasn't viewed correctly on quote-unquote normal referring. But if you use it from here, it seems that all the options work well and appropriately, so I would encourage to start using this beta feature. Thank you.